Lord Psalm at 12:14 a.m. on a Wednesday. Fresh out of work, back hurting, knees hurting, family downstairs sleeping. They just went to sleep. And I'm about to do an episode about growth, maturity, accepting responsibility, and the great force of change. All of those things tie into growth when it comes to being successful, the growth into being successful, however, whatever. It's all about pursuing success, which requires growth. There you go. I'm still new to this, so deal with it. The reason I want to talk about this today, besides the fact that it's following the blog, so this is the next post. Anyway, my friend, good friend of mine, independent hip-hop artist Polo Picasso, he read the post about growth, really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd go ahead and make that happen, even though it was coming up next anyway. This is for you, Picasso. So, let's get right into it. All right. One of the most important things in life, especially when it comes to pursuing goals or chasing a dream or just trying to change your life, is growth. If you follow the blog, my first post was about setting your own standards of success and failure. And I used an example of like being in school and trying to get the grades that you need to make it to the next grade level. And in that example, I explained that even if a student doesn't make it to the next level, that they haven't failed as long as they continue to pursue that success. Even if they don't succeed, they still grow as long as they're learning, as long as they're trying and continue to apply themselves. So I want to go more into that aspect. Feel me? Found this nice little quote on Pinterest, and it goes like, if you fail, never give up, because fail means first attempt in learning. Boom. End is not the end. In fact, end means effort never dies. Boom. If you get no as an answer, just remember that no means next opportunity. Boom. If that quote doesn't fit right in here, then I must have messed up. But that shit hard. Anyway, growth. Now, when you hear the word growth, or when someone's talking about growing up, normally it means becoming more mature, being more responsible as an adult. And maturity and responsibility are totally signs of growing up. But I'm talking specifically about chasing your dreams and pursuing your goals. So when I talk about growth in those terms of like success and failure and goals and dreams, I guess the way that I can really break it down is to learn from your mistakes. The only way to truly learn from your mistakes is to accept full responsibility for the decisions that you make and the actions that you take. Because once you accept responsibility, you also see the course of action that you were supposed to take. Maybe it's me, but in the midst of the situation, I know what the answer is. I know the solution, but I might do the opposite because I'm a man. I'm a person, whatever. Anyway, in order to accept responsibility, that takes maturity. And maturity is the ability to accept responsibility. So it goes around and it comes around. Right? So, using myself as an example of growth or accepting responsibility, I'm going to go back to my science fiction novel. I haven't said the title of this because it's not up. I took it down and I have to rewrite it. I spoke on it in my last post, or on the post on the blog about setting your own standards. I spoke about my book. You'll hear about it a lot, but I'm not going to tell you what it's called. The people that know, but anyway, my book didn't do good. All right. I am still proud that I got it done. That was a part of my success. But in all honesty, I could say the reason it didn't do good is because at the time, the last thing I was trying to do was not work on this book. So when it came to actually learning how to write a book and how to sell a book and promote it and all of the above, I totally ignored it and focused on getting it done. I'm still proud I got it done, but I can accept the fact that I did not put in the work to make it quality. I just wanted to get it done. And no matter how many, YouTubers I was getting lessons from, no matter how many books I read about it, no matter how many blogs I read about writing books, I didn't do what any of them told me, which was to learn to market your book before it's even done. And I can accept that. I should have, and I didn't. And because of that, my book was whack. I'm not upset about it. I'm just using this as a example of growing. I'm able to accept the fact that I didn't put in the work that I should have to make my book good. So acceptance is big. It took me a long time just to be able to accept that and say that out loud. Because for 2 years, I was writing this book. It might have been a year, I don't know. I was writing this book constantly. I was working on this shit. I rewrote it but I was really focused on getting it done because I thought the idea of the book was so good that I was going to instantly make some money. So I had a great idea, but my focus was not in the right direction. So my content was not quality, and I didn't market properly. And when it comes to that dream, I still achieved growth, even if that growth was all that I achieved. My sister, a couple people I was working with, a couple family members have copies of this book, but I still took it down. I plan on starting all over and actually applying what I know now to actually putting together a good book. And I don't think it'll be a science fiction novel this time. It might be a realistic fiction. But anyway, one of the hardest things to deal with as a person is to accept the force of change. And it's like change is a phenomenon in life that absolutely has to take place. Everything that ever existed is subject to change at some point or another. But I want to talk about acceptance when it comes to the force of change in terms of growth and in terms of success and failure. I was using my book and my rap career as an example. So I'm going to get back into that. Because the point I was making is I didn't learn what I needed to learn in order to become what it is I want to become. I was not focused on growing. You understand? You have to grow into your success. It doesn't just come. It doesn't just happen. You have to grow into it. Just like my book, long story short, when I started thinking about becoming a successful author, I didn't think about changing into an author to begin with. When it comes to change in that aspect, I'm talking about taking what it is that you want to do and becoming a master at it. You can't just be successful at it. You actually have to become that before you can even think of being successful at it. Be a successful amateur. Be a great amateur. Change your habits to that you want to be. And from there, grow into your success that you want to be. And really the only way to grow is to learn. Even if it's learning from your mistakes. I got another quote here that says, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. That's from Brian Herbert. Very dope quote. Long story short, being successful does not come because you have a great idea or you produced a great product. I mean, it does, but when you're starting off, when you first becoming obsessed with your success and you decide that this is what you want to do and this is what you want to be, you have to first realize that the reason you want to become that, the reason you want to do that, even if you are good at it, is because you're not that. I am not an author. It was important for me to learn all the things that an author knows, before I attempt to write a book. Same thing with rapping. Yeah, I'm a great rapper. I'm a great lyricist. I'm a great writer. But I am not a great performer. I'm not a great promoter or marketer. And it's important, if I want to be something in the music industry, to learn those things. If I want to be something in the book industry, it's important for me to learn those things. So I hope this helps. Take that with you and constantly grow. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? I heard that from somebody. I can't really recall who. But think about it like a tree, man. If you're not growing, what the hell are you doing? The opposite, which is dying. You're not growing. You're going down. So yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight. Set your own standards for success. Once your standards are set, be ready to grow and learn. And the force of change, when you decide that this is what you want to be, go with it. Don't fight it. Regardless of what you think you might know, start off with learning. Start off with learning how to be an amateur at what it is you want to be a master at. Master it. Once you're a master, then produce your product. Once you produce your product, then grow into marketing it. Learn how to market it. Learn how to promote. You might know how to do that already and need to grow your skill level. Either way, you're not going to get there in the state that you are currently in just because you have the dream, just because you have the idea. You absolutely have to pursue growth in order to achieve success. That's all I got. I'll holler at y'all later, man. Follow the blog if you don't. You know, thelordpsalm.wordpress.com. Don't make fun of me. I'm going to pay for my domain soon. Don't trip. You can also check this out on YouTube. Because, yeah, the podcast is on YouTube, too. Got the Lord Psalm channel. You know, you can also find me on Tumblr. Also on Facebook, The Lord Psalm. And I hope to hear from you guys. If not, you'll hear from me. And, yeah. Have a good night.